Are you thinking about buying a new juicer in 2017? Wait. Before you rush out and buy anything, there's a new kid on the block.
The machine is so simple to use that all you need to do is press one button, and 90 seconds later, you will have the fruit squashed to almost a paper-like thinness and virtually every drop of nutritious juice in the glass.
Now, before I talk about this new juicer, I'd like to talk about the evolution of juicing machines. And I thought, what better way to do it than to talk about some of the juicers that have actually graced my kitchen counter at home. See, when I very first started juicing, I went with a centrifugal machine. And actually, it was this very machine, the Philips HR1861. It's an incredible centrifugal juicer, and it's the one that I used to recommend to everybody kind of when I first started juicing, and actually for quite a long time after that, because it just did the job. Now sadly Philips discontinued this machine, but it is just a really good machine, but it is a centrifugal juicer. And the first time I experienced juice from a masticating juicer, I was blown away. In fact, I was blown away by the quality of the juice and the taste and the texture so much that I ended up buying one, and I bought this, which is a Green Star Elite, which again is a fantastic juicer. But I'm gonna be honest, the frustration was kind of the quality of the juice and the wetness of the pulp. It was good, but it wasn't like as good as this. The frustration was that tiny little feed chute and the fact that there's a lot of parts, and it took a lot of time to take it apart and clean it, which basically meant that I ended up only really using it on weekends and reverting back to the Philips during the week. And around that kind of time, I suddenly started to kind of experiment with a lot of different machines, test a lot of different machines. And eventually I found this one, which is an Optimum 400, which actually, to me, it was almost like the perfect hybrid. Now sure, it still had a relatively small feed chute. You can probably just about see there, yeah? It's kind of like kidney shaped. Relatively small feed chute, which you still had to chop things up more than the Philips, but not as much as the Green Star. And footprint wise, it was about the same as the Philips. In terms of ease of cleaning and stuff, it was more like the Philips. And for me, that was like the happy marriage. And then this type of vertical masticating juicer got changed again, and we started to get into wide feed chute. And so first of all, it was the Optimum 600 for me, which kind of replaced the 400. And then more recently, the Optimum 700, which is the juicer I currently have in my kitchen at home right now. And yes, I make no secret of the fact that I like the Optimum brand. I'm an ambassador for their brand, but I'm an ambassador for their brand because I like their products, not for any other reason. For me, it's purely a case of, I like these machines, that's why I recommend them. Just like previously I recommended, both the Philips and the Green Star, kind of for different reasons before I found these. And incidentally, every juicer I've got on this bench right now is really good. If you've seen some of the videos I put out last year where I tested different machines, you'll have heard me saying that if you're gonna buy a centrifugal juicer right now, the one I would recommend is the Sage. That hasn't changed from last year. The Sage, or in the US, that would be the Breville. That would be my recommendation for a centrifugal juicer. For a vertical slow juicer, my juicer of choice is the Optimum 700. There are some other really good models out there too though, like the Omega, for example, the Omega Sana that I tested, I was really impressed with. The Kuvings I was impressed with, but my personal preference of them was the Optimum 700. But now there's a game changer.
Introducing Juicer.
And I say now, you can't get one yet. I can't get my hands on one yet to tell you how good it is or isn't. I have some questions about it myself. I have some things that I want to test, some things that I want to see it juicing. But it's the juicer. And the juicer is cleaning free. Cleaning free juicer.
Juicing without the cleaning.
Right, it has a bag basically and a hydraulic press. Now the original domestic juicer was the Norwalk. Now the Norwalk uses a press, but it's got a two-stage juicing process. One that kind of chews everything up, goes in a bag, then you have to press the juice, and the machine's about $2,500. You can't even buy one in the UK. You have to buy one, import it to the UK, pay import duty, shipping, all of that kind of stuff on top of your $2,500, and then it's got quite a lot of cleaning involved to actually use that machine. Now, I know some people who are making juice for commercial purposes, for example, who use either the Norwalk or a Pure, which is very similar to the Norwalk's original design. Great juice, fantastic thing. The juicer, from what I can see, offers that same kind of juice quality, that pressed juice, but in a machine that claims to have zero cleanup. And why? Because it has a bag that you put your ingredients in the bag, you drop the bag into the juicer, you press one button, and 90 seconds later, you've got a glass full of juice.
How does it work? Simply chop your fruit and vegetables and put them in the single-use or multiple-use environmentally friendly juicing bag, and then into the juicer it goes. The machine is so simple to use that all you need to do is press one button, and 90 seconds later, you will have the fruit squashed to almost a paper-like thinness and virtually every drop of nutritious juice in the glass. Simply recycle or reuse the used bag. It's entirely up to you.
Now, there are some question marks that came up for me as soon as I became aware of this project, as soon as I became aware of the product. You know, the first one is, hang on, what about the bags and the environment? Because you see, I'd seen a similar product that's been launched in the United States. Now, I say similar, it's different because it's a closed system. It uses less pressure, but it's only available with, when I say a closed system, it's only available with bags that are pre-filled with ingredients from the manufacturer of the juicer. And for me, it was like, you know, it's a real limitation. You know, it's like an instant coffee machine where you can only use the coffee pods from that one manufacturer. And for me, with something fresh like a juice, I'm not keen on that idea. I'm also not keen on the waste where all of those pods can only be used once. However, the juicer does it in a different way because it actually has a reusable bag that you can fill the bag, press the bag, rinse the bag out, and it has like a filter inside. So you just, you know, biodegradable cotton filter. So you just compost the filter with the small amount of pulp, and then you rinse the bag and you can use the bag again. So they've thought about that environmental issue. Now, my understanding is they are also going to have like use once disposable bags that will be recyclable. So, you know, if your concern is pure speed and you don't want to have to clean the bag, there will be a recyclable bag available. But for me, it's all about that reusable bag and doing stuff that supports the environment as well. Now, like I say, I haven't used the machine. I don't know how well it works on all of these different ingredients. Everything I've heard about it is very, very positive. I can't wait to get my hands on one, and I'm trying to find out as much about it as I can, and I'll be keeping you updated as and when I can get more details. But here is the key thing I want to say. If you've got a juicer right now and you're thinking of upgrading, personally, I would wait. Because I think this might be a game changer. And if you're thinking of upgrading, I would wait, and I would wait for that machine to become available. Now, it's available on Kickstarter as like a pre-launch thing. So when I say become available, you can actually order one today, but you're not going to be able to get your hands on it for, you know, a couple of months. It's like April or May, I think, that they're actually going to be shipping the units. So personally, I would not rush out and buy, you know, any of these machines unless you're desperate to get your hands on a new juicer today. You know, if your juicer's broken and you're juicing on a daily basis, then sure, you know, go ahead and get a new machine. Or if your budget doesn't stretch to the, you know, the budget of that Kickstarter project, for example, then again, you know, look at what's within your budget. Every machine I've got on this bench is something I've used in my own kitchen at home. They are all great machines. And as I say, there are many other great machines out there. Actually, the best juicer is the one that you use, the one you use consistently. And that's going to be different for different people based on their requirements. But the key thing I wanted to stress with this video is there's a new kid on the block, and I just think it might change the game.